We contacted 100 Toyota dealers to get pricing on a RAV4, a very similar RAV4 across 100 dealers. And it's like there were 100 different prices, for goodness sake. It's just crazy, the spread from lowest to highest.
Okay, so like my dad said, we contacted 100 dealers. And to be clear here, we used CarEdge's AI negotiator to do this. We got 32 verified quotes back from these dealerships. Dad, 6 of them actually sent us quotes on the wrong vehicle. So we asked for XSEs, specific VINs, excuse me. And they sent us back trims for the Woodland. So that was a little bit annoying. But Dad, let's start here. What happened overall when we contacted 100 dealers? 77 actually got back to us with pricing information. 20 of them refused to give us a price over text or email. And 3 dealers that we reached out to just straight out, they just ignored us. They never got back to us in any capacity. This was kind of a bummer, but honestly, if you go watch our Ford video, this is significantly better than Ford dealers did when we did this most recently for F-150s. So kind of good news for Toyota shoppers. At least the dealers will get back to you most of the time.
Yeah, that's the one thing for sure. The response rate from Toyota dealers seems to be significantly above the response rate from Ford dealers. And you have to wonder why, considering how busy Toyota dealers are and how quickly they're moving their inventory. But at least they're getting back to people who send in an inquiry.
And it's worth mentioning all this data is linked in the description down below. You should go check it out yourselves. All right, Dad, then for every single quote, we've actually decomposed what happened on the pricing side. And here's the deal. Let's just jump right into it. The best dealer behavior, well, it was Baxter Toyota of La Vista, which is in Nebraska. They actually ended up being $2,445 below MSRP. The worst dealer in this interaction, Dad, was Drive Olathe Toyota in Kansas. They ended up being $6,776 over MSRP once we factored in their add-ons and dock fees. That's the spread here. We've got over a $9,000 spread. And again, to be clear here, these are similarly equipped Toyota RAV4 XSEs. Again, 6 dealers ended up sending us quotes for Woodlands, which have a lower MSRP. We've excluded that from the analysis here. But we're talking about a $9,221 swing on pretty much the same vehicle, entirely based on just which dealer I reached out to. To be clear, we've excluded sales tax from this as well because we didn't want to skew the numbers.
Yes, it is. It just indicates to me that there are some parts of the country where dealers are much more amenable to trying to work with you to find a price point that could work. And then there's other dealers in other areas where there might be such a shortage of the vehicle that you're looking for that they're figuring out ways to add so many add-ons and extras that you end up having a $9,000+ swing between those dealers. And it's, that's a pretty huge swing on a $43,000 vehicle.
Yeah, I'd say so, Dad. This is why if you go back and watch CarEdge videos, we coach you on requesting the out-the-door price. Because to be clear here, all of the prices we got back were different than the online advertised price. The online advertised prices never include dealer add-ons, fees, dock fees, registration fees, taxes, etc. And again, we've sensitized this to remove sales tax from the equation and to remove state registration fees from the equation. But just it demonstrates the importance of understanding and requesting the out-the-door price, which again, to be clear here, the out-the-door price is the vehicle price. So what you end up negotiating, that selling price, plus any dealer add-ons, plus dock fee, plus sales tax, plus title and registration. Now, Dad, we've got this really beautiful chart here, which I encourage everyone, I know we've got to put up on the screen, but I encourage everyone to go to the link in the description and take a peek at this. You can start to see what's going on here. So even our best deal, which was Baxter Toyota of La Vista, did they have a big discount from MSRP? Yes, they did. But they actually added back $499 in add-ons. Some of our best deals overall, Dad, all of them have some add-ons back, whether it be in the form of a dock fee or an additional dealer markup. And then you can see many dealers were just flat at MSRP. They weren't doing any add-ons or any discounts. And then many dealers, Dad, were adding add-ons. No one worse than Drive Olathe, who added, Dad, $6,376 in add-ons on their out-the-door price quote, including gap insurance, maintenance, a service contract, and a tire and wheel bundle, plus their dock fee. This is the type of egregious dealer add-on stuff that we see that just, kind of makes us sick.
Absolutely. It's when dealers really try to take advantage of a customer or of a situation where there might be a shortage, that they just start adding on, gap insurance and service contracts and things like that. And so that makes life unfair for the customer. Now, also, I noticed that there were any number of dealers that just sent us price sheets from Toyota and didn't break down any of the out the door pricing, wouldn't include if there's any add-ons or anything like that. So these dealers, yes, they sent us some information, okay, but they didn't honor our request to provide us with a breakdown of what the total cost of the vehicle would be.
That's a really, really, really good call out, Dad. Toyota dealers are notorious for sending these TSRP worksheets or these V-spec worksheets that aren't necessarily full out the door price quotes. So it's important that when you look at this data, when you watch this video, there is some nuance, especially around Toyota, because that is unique to Toyota and Lexus. And that could be something that, is worth calling out because the numbers actually could change. We requested using our AI agent out the door prices and we got pricing back. But it's unclear if these are real end of the day out the door prices because many of them, to your point, don't actually have the dealer doc fee listed. Could change when you go to the dealership. Again, that is unique to Toyota. They've built this thing called SmartPath. It helps in many ways, but in this instance, it actually kind of hurts and it creates a little bit more ambiguity for customers.
Yeah, because what they're doing is they're providing you with what the manufacturer suggested retail price is, but they aren't breaking down any charges that they might be adding so that you don't get a complete picture from some of these dealers as to what the total cost of the vehicle is going to be.
Some of the fun of buying a car in the United States of America, folks. You ask for the out the door price and you still don't get the out the door price. Now, Dad, 38% of those that we received, the price quotes, that we received from dealers had dealer add-ons. And those add-ons were things like floor mats, paint and appearance protection, mud guards, charging cables, extended service contract, dealer protection package, prepaid maintenance, tire and wheel bundle, dealer service fee, and gap insurance. So Toyota dealers, while they responded more often than some of our other dealers that we've tested in the past or brands that we've tested, they're just like all the others. They add add-ons to try and make more profit in their car deals.
Yes, it's and with Toyota dealers, like any other dealers, it's work. You have to work at it to find a good deal, and that might mean that you need to travel outside of your area where you live, where your closest dealer is located, and in order to find that deal where there's some significant savings and where there's a higher level of transparency when you're trying to figure out what those savings may be.
Now, Dad, there were 6 dealers, like we mentioned earlier, that we asked and we gave them the stock number and the VIN in our initial outreach for the particular vehicle. And they gave us back quotes on a Woodland variant, which is significantly cheaper in terms of MSRP. So we excluded them. But I think that's important to bring up in this video because that could be a little bit of, maybe it was just a mistake, but it happens 6 out of 100 times. Makes me think that's a little bit of a tactic, get someone into the dealership. Again, we made the explicit ask. You can even see on this page here, again, click the link down below, some of the negotiation stories. It shows you the messages that we sent and the messages we received back from the dealer. 6 out of 100, Dad, they decided, actually, you asked for an XSE, I'm sending you a cheaper one instead. I don't like that.
Well, you're spot on. It's a tactic that those dealers have decided to use, and they'll feign ignorance when they get caught. But they're obviously their hope is they don't get caught. The customer comes in and it happens to be the wrong car, and then like the greatest salesman ever would say, well, switch them.
Now, Dad, here's an example of the negotiation we did with AutoNation Toyota of Las Vegas. And you can see we got the initial quote from the dealership. It was $51,575 because it had the appearance protection, auto gear window tint, dent protection, and wheel locks, $2,296 in dealer installed add-ons. The AI agent that we built had actually pushed back and it said, hey, I don't want those. The dealership came back and removed 1,548 of those $2,296 in add-ons. They removed the dent protection and wheel locks, but they couldn't, Dad, remove the appearance protection and tint because they are part of their standard package. This is, we got a little bit more of a discount at the end there, but this is a perfect example of what Toyota shoppers potentially will deal with, depending on where they are nationwide. Standard packages, these are just profit centers, to be clear, from the dealership. You asked to buy a car, not to buy an appearance protection and tint, but you're getting a car in appearance protection and tint if you choose to do business with that dealership.
Yeah, that's when they're what they classify as standard add-ons. Well, oftentimes that means for you as the customer that, well, my standard is that I walk, that I will find a dealer that isn't going to force me to buy things that I didn't ask for, that I never wanted. And if you won't take them off, well, there are dealers out there, and we've proven it here, that won't do that to me. So I'll go elsewhere.
So this ties in directly to our new dealer ratings product, which is in beta, caredge.com/dealer-ratings. We're taking all of the data, over 50,000 AI negotiations we've done since July of 2025, surfacing that data back on dealer ratings, and obviously through experiments like this. Let us know in the comments down below what you want to see, both from a feature standpoint on those new beta products, and importantly, which brand and vehicle we should mystery shop next. Again, we've done this now our fourth time. This is the second time for Toyota. We've done it twice for Ford. Let us know what you think. Check out the links in the description down below. Share your feedback with us. And Dad, something tells me we'll be doing more of these videos soon.
I would certainly hope so.